today's session, as we all know, that is towards the various career avenues available in defense services. So, before we start off the session, I would like to know from the audience what kind of expectations do you have from this session? What are you looking at? I mean, I'm seeing Sunday morning the most difficult time of the week. You get up really early and then you are here. So what brings you here? What is the motivation of people to come for this session? You must have been encountered with an ad or maybe probably a WhatsApp post, something like that. And then what did you think? What is going to be this session all about? So I would say that we are little informed about what kind of careers are available in defense services. What kind of or we would have some kind of expectations about our career path if we choose defense services. What I would say is today's session would give us more clarity as to what kind of career avenues are available there, defense services, one, and secondly, how one could attain it. How we can go about it, how we can pursue it. So won't take much of your time. Just wanted to have a clear note as to how we are going to go about this. I would welcome Brigadier Rathi. He is a retired Army Brigadier. He retired in 2008. Before his retirement, he was a part of Parachute and Army Aviation Unit. Post-retirement also, Brigadier Rathi is involved into various defense-related and defense career-related activities. He has been guiding youth for a long time regarding career avenues available in defense, and he actively trains people to attend defense services examination.
Extremely hearty welcome to you all. And before we start the proceedings for the day, as is customary, we must pay homage to the national flag. I request all to rise. Be careful of the green on the top. Those sitting on the my father's generations, present generation, and the generation sitting here. Bless the papers. See, all these four generations have different aims in mind. Today's generation is the most important generation because you are the people who are, I'll say, in a very confused state of mind. We had very limited options available to us. I remember when I finished my secondary, we didn't have 10 plus 2 then, we had only 11th class. I had basically 3 options available to me. Either I go to the engineering, or I become a doctor, or I join the armed forces. And most of our decisions during our time were based on what our parents were doing. Because we were used to following a beaten path. We had no thinking of our own. Am I right? We were used to following a beaten path. जो पगडंडी बनी है, उसी के my forefathers were in the armed forces. My father was in the armed forces. I also joined the armed forces. Somebody's father was a lawyer, so he joined the legal profession. Somebody's father was a doctor, so he joined the medical profession. But today it is not so. Today's youth, you see, is mentally very mobile and is analytically aware of things today. He is surgically very sharp and clinically very precise. Do you all agree with this or no? You see, today's youth is very, very inquisitive. He is very exhaustive in the examination of options available to him and is very intensive in depth of his research. Now today you have Google Sync with you, traveling with you in your pocket every time. You want to know the temperatures at Juhu airport today, you don't have to ring up Juhu airport. You pull out your mobile and move a finger right and left and you get the things there. So this is what I call, he is exhaustive in his research. You want to know anything around the world, is there with you on your palm top. Earlier the saying used to be communication is power. But today, information is power. Am I right? So if anybody disagrees, do let me know, please. Stop me there and there, because here it is not a lecture by a professor or something. It is basically an interactive section, interactive session. Because you must benefit something from this session. And you have come all the way on a Sunday, and the parents have also spared the time to come here. So you must benefit something, make up your mind, and then agree or not agree. That is your prerogative. Now there are certain values of the army which are infused in a soldier through the years of training, and these are answering the call to serve the country, taking a stand against terrorism. I mean, you were reading about it day in and day out. Yesterday we lost 2 Jawans after killing 4 terrorists. Therefore, yesterday similar incident had taken place. About 2 weeks back there was somebody arrested, captured alive. About a month back there was somebody captured alive. So it's on a day-to-day basis. In fact, today morning or yesterday evening there was a blast somewhere in Jharkhand area. So, taking a stand against the terrorism. Educational and monetary benefits that can last a lifetime. Now, educational benefits in the army. In my 35-year service, I have done about 18 courses of instruction. I have attended those courses, averaging to about 1 course every 2 years. So it's not that I joined the army, put on my rank, and then that's the end of it. No. It's an ongoing learning process throughout your career. Even till the last day you are learning something. Secondly, unlike the CV street, I'll call it the CV street, unlike the CV street, here the instructors are much junior to me. But they are my instructors because they are specialized in that particular field. A Havaldar may be teaching a colonel sir, because that Havaldar is specialized in that. And that colonel will give him the due respect of a guru at that time. So this is the difference between the army and the army learning process and the civil learning process. So learning in the armed forces, whether it's army, air force, navy, it's an ongoing process. Monetary benefits of a lifetime. You get started paying the moment you step into the IMA, not NDA. The moment you step into the IMA or the OTA, you start getting paid for it. And this continues not only after your retirement, but after the demise of an ex-serviceman in cases got dependents whom he has left behind, and like his wife, for example. So they continue to get the same benefits till their demise. So it's not only a lifetime for his life, but also his dependents also. So that is the difference. Like here, you leave a corporate office and that's the end of it. The chapter is closed. The documents are no more available with them after some few years or so. But here, you are being taken care of, both medically, both traveling, and your day-to-day looking after, right till the end of your life, and your dependents also. Personal satisfaction and pride. Anybody who has worn a uniform and also stepped out of it will continue to get the same respect as he was getting it in uniform also. I can quote a number of examples. Today when I go through the toll, I just got to show my A card and they honor it. And they don't delay me anyway for any time they come sit here. Well, you can sit down in the center, that'll be better. Excuse me? You can sit there in the center. That'll be better because you're not going to see this thing. Center पर बैठिए. यहाँ से आ जाइए ना. Sorry. In family tradition, which I just mentioned, that if your parents were in the armed forces, you would like to join the armed forces. If your parents were in the legal profession, you like to go for the legal profession. If your parents were the doctors, what I told you. Devotion to duty and honor needs no explanation. Full-time employment. It's a full-time employment with a job guarantee. There is no other profession today in India other than armed forces which ensures a job security. Nobody can throw you out except the President of India, because he is the one who has given you the commission. It's the President of India who has given you the commission. The only person who is entitled to throw you out of the armed forces is the President of India, nobody else. He is also very pleased to throw you out in case this is a requirement. But the words used are, the President of India is pleased to throw him out or terminate his services. Job security I mentioned to you, and personal improvement, gentlemen, it's not confined to your commissioning from IMA, OTA. It is an ongoing process throughout. The value of discipline in day-to-day life needs no emphasis. Unity and diversity. Bravery has no religion, caste or color. In Indian Armed Forces are shining examples of equal opportunities and brotherhood. Gentlemen, there is no disparity there. Once you have donned your uniform, there is no such thing as from Haryana, from Punjab, from down south. There is no disparity. You are an army officer and you continue to be an army officer of the Government of India. The recipients of the highest gallantry award, the Paramveer Chakra, gentlemen, you can see the first one is Abdul Hamid of the Grenadiers. Next is Colonel Tarakwa. Left bottom corner is Albert Eka from Bihar, tribal, and Major Hushar Singh, retired as Colonel. He happened to be my instructor when I finished my IMA. And let me tell you about Hushar Singh. You see, in IMA, when we were as gentlemen cadets, he would wake us up at 2 o'clock at night. And we would be doing PT from 2 to 4 in the morning. Breaking off and then back for PT as per the regular requirements at 6 o'clock. So a very hard task master, and that is what we credit him for getting his BBC. The real meaning of friendship you learn in the armed forces. No other organization will give you such opportunities. Like here the people shown in the photograph. One is of a JCO rank, one is of Haldar rank, and 2 are Jawans. But the comradeship is an example by itself. Like not very long ago, the 99 Kargil operations, the number of officers lost, number of JCO that we lost, and the number of Jawans that we lost was in the same proportion in which they are there in the unit. It's not that only Jawans will lost their leg. No. It is standing by for each other. Today also, the people who served with me as a second lieutenant way back in 1973-74, they are on my friends list. We are in regular communication, regular contact with them. Some of them are abroad, some of them in India, in different parts of the country, but we are still in contact. So it is not confined to the friendship up to the railway station or the bus stand. No, it is not so. It's a lifelong contact that you have. 2 weeks back I had gone to a place called Jorhat in Assam. It's well beyond Guwahati. There I learned that there are a couple of my juniors, Jawans, who were settled down there. I made it an effort to get their addresses and go and visit their homes. So it is not because we benefit from each other, the only thing that we benefit from a mutual respect for each other. This can only be achieved in the armed forces. The quantum of adventure activities that you get to participate is tremendous. In the National Defence Academy, gentlemen, you have talk of a sport is there. Sailing, riding, golf, basketball, squash, tennis. Talk of a game is there. Take of a hobby is there. It's there for you to exploit. I mean, because of NDA, I was able to sail up to the national level. I was able to do my skydiving. I was able to do my paratrooping. I was able to go for mountain expeditions. I was able to do whitewater rafting. It's all courtesy of the National Defence Academy. And for these adventure activities, other organizations, you got to pay a large sum of money. But here, everything is given to you on a platter. It's there for you to exploit. Time is yours, but opportunities are provided by them. And gentlemen of the armed forces, ensure that you have an overall development of your personality. It's not restricted to a particular field. Can I ask you to read it, please? Yeah, just read. Sit and read it.
Are the determination to achieve your goals.
The determination to achieve your goals.
Uh,
Yeah. One thing that truly makes soldiers stand apart is their ability to achieve their goals, even fighting against incredible odds. This spirit was displayed 100 times over in the Kargil operations, when despite being at a disadvantageous elevation, the Indian Army took peak after peak from the individuals. Gentlemen, how many of you have been towards Kargil? Not very many, none. Okay. Now what I'll tell you. All these peaks are at about 20,000 feet. 18 to 20,000 feet is the height. We were at a lower place at about 13,000 feet. Because we never expected the enemy to come there. It was such a hostile terrain. And because of certain failure in intelligence, whatever it was, these Pakis came and dominated these areas. Now once you are sitting on top and looking down, who is at an advantage? The man on top. Because visually he can see you, with weapons he can engage you. But and imagine the determination of these people to climb all these peaks at night, at a gradient of about 70 to 80 degrees at places, with rocky outcrops. You manage to recapture all these places. So that is the type of determination which you can only achieve in the armed forces. You must have heard of Captain Batra. He captured a feature. Thereafter he could have gone back to his unit and relaxed. He said, no, I'll go again now. So he went to the other. And his famous statement of Dil Mange More is well known to most of us. So he went and captured the second one, where he lost his life also. This is one other. Now you can see in the background of the hills. Can I put on the light in the picture if it's not very clear?
Yes.
Yeah? So you can see the features at the back. Imagine in dark night, pitch dark night, climbing those. Where the places the boulders are loose, so you just make a hold and then slide down 10 meters. You climb 1 meter, slide down 10 meters. So that is the type of difficult terrain which they have to encounter. I mean, hats off to the Pakis also. But then they did it in a peacetime and we did it under enemy fire. That was the difference. Gentlemen, in IMA, Indian Military Academy, there is main block is called the Chetwood Hall. Chetwood was the first commandant of IMA. And there it is engraved, the safety, honor and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. I'm sure nobody is going to agree to this. I'm not going to disagree with this. The honor, comfort and safety of the man you command, that means your subordinate who is there, he comes second. And your own personal, his comfort and safety comes last, always and every time. And this gentleman is followed verbatim by every officer of the Indian Army. And that is why we are able to command respect from our troops. Because we are ready to do anything for them, for their comfort. And that is how they respect you. This is one of the passing out pride of Army. To believe in your team and in your organization, it's self-explanatory. When you believe in something, it becomes easier to give it your all. You must have faith in that. You must believe in that. You must dedicate yourself to that. The members of the armed forces are characterized by a steadfast belief in their cause and united by the love for the country. No other organization, if anybody has got a different opinion, please say so. No other organization will ever have these thoughts in their mind. Sacrifice, gentlemen, is just not a fancy word. Members of the armed forces spend months away from their family. I have been in the Siachen on 2 tenures of 3 years each. When my wife and kids were in a peacetime station called separated family accommodation. I'll tell you in lighter vein, the separated family accommodation is the accommodation which is given to the officers, JSOs and RORs in peace stations. Peace stations mean where the school is available and educational facilities available, and you live peacefully when the husband is posted in the field area or a non-family station. So when my family was in Ambala, and talk about 1987-88, so somebody came from my village to meet the family. He says, we RS enclave, that is one of the localities, Rajinder Singh enclave. He said, वहाँ जाना है. He said, जितना छठी जनानियाँ रहती हैं, I mean, that was their pretty outlook. जितना छठी जनानियाँ, that means the ladies who have been left alone. So whenever you are serving there, so you get a number of separations from the families, but the families are well taken care of. You are given a house, your rations are delivered home, your maintenance of the block is ensured on a fortnightly or a weekly basis. If your bulbs are fused, you just got to write a complaint, somebody comes and changes the bulb. Your water is ensured 24 hours supply, your street lights and security is ensured 24 hours. There's a proper guard and all the exit and entrances to the quarter. So what I'm saying is, the officer or the Jawan or the JSO may be on top, but there is an organization which is there to look after the family. There are school buses plying every day. So it's there in place to look after the families. The sacrifice of one of the Jawans not very long ago. To understand what patriotism actually means, can I request you to read it?
There is difference between being patriotic and being gnostic. Many people think that being patriotic simply means hating Pakistan and China, but the people who serve in the forces didn't join because of hate, they joined because of love for their own country.
So patriotism is not confined to you hate China or you make slogans against Pakistan, no. It is for the love of your country that you join the armed forces. This is of the India Gate. To have high standards of professionalism, soldiers in the army are known for their diligence and dedication towards their duty. If a job has to be done, it has to be done, and that too perfectly. No work is small and nothing is unimportant. Like the courses that I mentioned you, when we go for a course of instruction, you may be a major or a lieutenant colonel, but you bloody well clean your room yourself. There is no person to help you. Like when you go to a Gurdwara, there is a gentleman who is there to look after your shoes. And mind you, in one of the videos that I saw, this gentleman had come in an imported car. He removed his coat and tie and kept it in the car and came and was doing the same job. So there is no small or big job. And that is what is taught in the armed forces also. Like a Hawaldar, we call him Saab when he is an instructor. In IMA, gentlemen, all the instructors are all the instructors who teach you drill, who teach you PT. And till the last minute, till the time you are not put on your rank, you bloody well give him the due respect. And after that, of course, because he's been your ustad, and the moment you wear your rank, he smartly salutes you and accepts you as your senior. Thousands of people who got misplaced there. Hundreds lost their life. In fact, thousands lost their life. And the armed forces were there at their beck and call. In fact, people went all the way from places like Agra and Delhi and helped them. You can see a few photographs of that. Now, in the army, you start out with the junior most rank as a lieutenant. This used to be only a second lieutenant, but as we last review, about 6 years back, the junior most rank is the lieutenant. That is on commissioning from IMA or OTA. Within 2 years you become a captain. Within 6 years you become a major, and 13 years you become a lieutenant colonel. So these are all time scale promotions. The moment you put this much of service, you pick up your rank. Earlier the lieutenant colonel used to be a selection grade. That means whatever was your performance up to the rank of major, so you were assessed on that, and then if found fit you were promoted to a lieutenant colonel. But now this has been made a time scale promotion of 13 years. In field area conditions, that means when you are posted to a high altitude or CI operations, you can pick up your rank of a major in about 3 to 4 years service also, provided there is a vacancy. So you become an acting major or an acting captain also. A chap gets his rank of a lieutenant in IMA, when he gets moved to the unit within a week, he can become a captain also. Because the vacancy is there. So he gets those financial benefits. Colonel and above, these are all selection grade. That means whatever has been a performance up to the rank of lieutenant colonel, you get selected for a colonel. Your performance as a colonel and your previous performance also, you make it to brigadier, and thereafter to a major general, a lieutenant general, and a general. Now you would say that a lieutenant general and a major general is junior to a lieutenant general. But a lieutenant is junior to a major. So actually the rank is called sergeant major general, but it is called a major general. Or actual rank is sergeant major general and a lieutenant general. But in short it is called major general and a lieutenant general. Certain pay structures we can see on the screen also, but these are bound to change with the CA. Total number of vacancies is 300, Army is 195, Air Force 66 and Navy 39. This is in the same ratio as the strength of the different services. Age is 16 and a half to 19 years. So you get about 3 chances to try for India. Education is 12th or equivalent for Army and with physics and maths for Navy and Air Force. That's a compulsory. For Army, Air Force and Navy, physics and maths is compulsory. But in case you want to join other than Air Force and the Army also, and you have physics and maths, you can still join in the technical arms. And the technical arms, 3 engineers, EME and signals. So with these 2 qualifications or subjects, you can join the Army also. The training academy is NDA, duration of the training is 3 years at NDA and 1 year at IMA. And during these 3 years, the first 2 years are basically your academics, where you today get a degree by the Pune University. And the 4th year, the 3rd year is your special 2 core training. That means the Army cadets, they carry out the Army training, the Air Force cadets, they carry out the Air Force training, and the Naval cadets, they carry out the Naval training. So that is the breakup of the 3 years at NDA. Then there is something known as the technical entry scheme. Total vacancies 85. 12 physics, chemistry and maths. Now this was introduced about I think 8 years back, where the percentage, minimum percentage required is 70%. But let me tell you that the cutoff today, gentlemen, is about 85 to 90%. Because today the normal percentage I think is about 90 plus in the 10+2 system, physics, chemistry, maths. Because what we read on the papers that somebody scored 99, somebody scored 98%. So this percentage though, it says 70%, but your cutoff comes to about 85 to 90%. And there is no written test for it. Your merit is based on your performance in the 10+2, but you have to go through an SSB. And after SSB, starts your training, 6 months I think at IMA, and thereafter rest of your training at whatever you have joined, that is signals, now engineers at Pune and EME at Secunderabad. And you get your BE degree thereafter at the government expense. Then there is something known as a direct entry. Vacancy per course is 250. Direct entry means you get direct entry into the IMA after your graduation. Age is 19 to 24 years and it's a 1.5 years training. Earlier it was 2 years, now it has been reduced to 1.5 years, basically because the training at OTA is only 9 months. So the seniority difference, to reduce the seniority difference between the OTA and the IMA, this has been reduced to 1.5 years, and which is quite adequate to train a person to be an officer in 1.5 years. How many of you have been to NDA or IMA? Have you ever been to these two places? So next trip to Pune, you must go to the NDA. See it for yourself. Then there is something known as a technical graduate course engineers. Age is 20 to 27 years, B or you should be B or B Tech, and you go direct to IMA for 1 year training. These are called technical entries, technical direct entries actually. Then there is something known as a university entry scheme. This is 19 to 25 years. Final and pre-final year students of engineering degree course, April to October, and again the training is for 1 year. They pass out as captains, others pass out as lieutenants. That's the difference.
I have a query.
Yeah.
Last slide. Previous slide.
Yeah.
The TCG engineers you said, so it is compulsory for only BE, BTech or ME, MTech is also valid?
No, ME, Tech. ME, MTech you try for the UES.
TCG engineer.
No, you can apply for TCC also. There is no restriction in that.
So like
As long as you meet the age criteria, so you can get into this.
But MTech should be from a recognized university.
Yeah, recognized.
And it should be a full-time course.
Full-time course.
But for me, it is like I've been working with Wipro now.
Okay.
So Wipro is providing me MTech degree from Pittsburgh. So every week on Saturdays we have our classes.
But what is your B Tech? When did you do your B and B Tech?
I didn't do my B or BTech. I did my BSc Computer Science. After that I got the placement, and then I started my MTech.
No, but this is through BITS Benali,
Yes.
and you get a degree for it.
Yeah.
Then you can get into this. There should be no problem.
So that's why it is valid, or it will be considered in regular.
What I'll do is I'll find out. And your email ID is with the.
Yes.
You good then?
Sheetal Varma.
You get a mail from them. I'll clarify this point for the recruiting department. So basically, what you want to say is that you would be finishing your ME and MTech.
MTech I will finish in another.
And you would be within 20 and 27 years of age, which is the mandatory requirement,
Yes.
or whether you can go for the TCC or not. I'll find out in it.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any doubt? Now there is short service commission also, which the terms and conditions is 5 years initially. You have an option to leave after 5 years. You have an option to leave after 10 years, or you have an option to leave after 14 years also. But let me tell you that this would be, especially for women, they would be getting permanent commission also, and they have started getting permanent commission. The short service commission, non-technical men, total vacancy is 175, age is 19 to 25, should be graduate, and the training is 49 weeks. Short service commission, not technical for women, 21 to 25 is the age, OTA Chennai and 49 weeks of training. They have concurrent training, both. Unlike IMA or NDA, they have concurrent training. In fact, the course is passed out yesterday. Then short service commission technical for men, a total 50 vacancies, need an engineering degree, and same training is for all these are running concurrently, batch-wise. Then technical entry for women, same qualifications, age is 20 to 27 years, and for 9 weeks. Then there is something known as a NCC special entry for men. This is through the C certificate. And for women also, it is through the C certificate. 50, and for women it is vacancy as notified. Then there is something known as entry into the education core. Here you can be an MSc or an MA in a first or second division, and the age is 23 to 27 years. And the training is for a year. Then there is something known as the Judge Adjutant General branch. So this is basically for the people who qualify in the legal profession. They also get commissioned as captains. Age is 21 to 27 years. They go to the LLB/LLM with 55% marks. And training is again 49 weeks. Physical standards, height 152 for women and NDA 10+2 system, and 157 centimeters for the other courses. Weight again specified on the slide. Most of the people, I think, they meet the physical standards. Now, as far as the selection criteria through the SSB is concerned, the Services Selection Board, it's a 5-day process. That is, the day you report, you finish your documentation, and after that is the stage 1. It is cut into 2 stages, stage 1 and stage 2. In the stage 1 is called the screening process. When we applied for SSB, there was no screening process. Because the number of applicants used to be limited and it was a management thing. But today the number of applicants have enhanced tremendously. And they can't handle so many people for the entire 4 days of selection process. So on the first day they carry out a screening, and those people who qualify, they are retained. Rest of the people are asked to go back home and try some better. 4 days are psychological tests, an interview, outdoor tests by the group task officer, GTOs, as we call them, and then of course we have conferences and other things. There you got intelligence test, picture perception test, group discussions, word association test, thematic appreciation test, situation reaction test, lectures, individual group obstacles interview. It's a 5-day schedule. We'll go through this, or somebody can read it. Yeah, the next.
The Services Selection Board have 5-day testing schedules. On receipt of application at selection center, the call-up letter is issued that give date and time of reporting besides other details. The candidates are required to report to the MCO at the railway station on the day of reporting at
1300, 1 o'clock.
Staff of selection centers receives the candidates at MCO and escort them to selection center. The candidates are briefed on detailed schedule and required to complete documentation, including verification of required certificates for age, educational qualification. Testing is broadly divided into 2 stages.
Yeah. So basically, anybody who's been to the SSB so far, so you get a call letter from the SSB on the day of reporting. You report by 1 o'clock there. There is a reception center at the station who receive you there, take you to the selection center. There your original documents are verified with what you submitted earlier. And then the next day, details now, or you want me to do? Keep it for some other day.
You can go to the details.
Okay. See, what happens is that everybody is made to sit in a hall. They'll flash words on the board. You're supposed to make sentences of words. You're given 30 seconds to see the word and thereafter make a sentence. So every 30 seconds there is a word which is flashed on the board. Let's say chair is one particular word which is given to you. Now if there are 30 people, they'll make 30 different sentences. I can make chair is made of wood. Chair is made of wood as well as metal. Chair is used for sitting. Chair can be used as a ladder, as a step ladder. So you can make anything. Chair is important to us. You have different types of chairs. You got an armchair, you got a sitting chair, you got a dining chair. So you can make anything that you want. Now whatever sentences that you all make, there's a psychologist who analyzes your psychology from those sentences that you have made. So it is not one word. It is 50 words that are given to you. So out of those 50 sentences, your psychology is drawn out. Understood or no? Whether you are positive or you are negative. Then thereafter they will flash a picture to you. Picture can be anything. So you are supposed to make a story out of that. You as a character in that story. Understood? So let's say people are carrying something, or 4 people are carrying something on their shoulder. Now to me it appears that they are carrying a dead body. To you it appears that they are carrying a sportsman who is fatigued out. Understood? To him it appears as they are carrying a chap who is going for a religious darshan of Vishnu Mata. So it can be anything. So it depends what your perception of that picture is at that time. Am I right? So again the psychologist goes through that and drives, then he compares your psychology from the word sentence that you made, from the picture, that story that you made. Thereafter on your story there is a discussion which takes place. Because he may not get the correct picture from this thing. So he knows what story you have written, and during the discussion of that picture, he verifies and confirms what you have written is true or what he has analyzed is true or not. And then they announce the results. So that's where the discussion is. So after the stage 1, the people who have been selected, they are retained, rest of the people are requested to go back home, and then you start off with the second day. Second again, repeat of psychological test, then thematic appreciation test, and word association test, same thing what was done earlier, situation reaction test, self description test, interview, GTO testing, there are group discussions, group planning exercises, and progressive group tasks, group obstacle race, half group tasks. Half group task is not the task that is hard, but a group is hard. Let's say there's a group of 5 people, 10 people who are given a task. Here the group is reduced to 5 people. So one chap is nominated as a commander. He has a choice to select his 5 people of 5 team, and they perform a task. Once they have done that, then the next person is made a leader. He selects his 5 team. Now here what the person sees, that who is that individual who has been selected the maximum number of times. What shows is that he is a useful member of the team. If I get selected thrice, he gets selected 5 times. So he is a more useful member of the team than me. So that is what they see. Understood my point? So half group task and lecturers. Lecturers, there would be choice out of 3 subjects that are given to you. And you are supposed to speak ex tempo on one of those subjects for about 3 minutes. Now 3 minutes to me appears very small, but when you start speaking, the 3 minute never ends. So you want to be prepared for the current affairs. So these topics that are given are generally on the current affairs. So whatever is happening on a day to day, last 3 months and from the last 3 months, 6 months to now, whatever international, national news have taken place, you should be prepared for that. And basically these are all debatable topics. Remember that. Then of course when we start the SSB training, then we will be going into more of these details. Individual obstacles, there are a series of 10 obstacles. 10 obstacles can be a rope climb about I think 10 feet. Then something known as a Burma bridge. You know what a Burma bridge is? There are 2 ropes which are tied one on top of the other, separating about 4 feet and about 8 feet from the ground. So you climb that, keep your feet on the bottom rope, go to the top rope and walk across. That's a Burma bridge. And it's not that easy because the rope keeps swinging. So you got to maintain a balance and then move to the other end and then get down. Then there is a ladder, you climb the ladder, there is a platform, you climb another platform, and it's supposed to be a commando jump. From there, about 7-8 feet you jump down. That's a commando jump. There's a ramp, there's a barrel, there's a ditch. So likewise there are about 10 obstacles. We are supposed to complete in 3 minutes. So there what they see is, are you hesitating on any obstacle? Is your technique correct? You may be able to do all the 3 minutes, the 10 obstacles twice in 3 minutes. But that's not what they are seeing is your approach to handle those obstacles. Because it is an obstacle. The speed breaker on a road is an obstacle. So when you are driving, you can go over that obstacle at 80 kilometers an hour. You can reduce the speed at 60 also. You can reduce to 40 also. So what does that speed breaker require your speed at? For a smooth, ride over the speed breaker. So this is what they are going to see on this. Then of course the final group task. And fifth day is the conference. Conference is basically whatever you have filled in an application. So they are trying to verify and verify that. So you mentioned that you are a good football player. Now you may have never played football. So they'll ask you about the world football players, their history. How many goals have they scored? Where all have they played? Which club is he playing for now? All those things. Basically, whatever you fill in your form, then your family details also. So that is what they verify in the